If you've ever tried to watch a movie in English, listened to a YouTube video, or spoken with someone who speaks English as their first language, you may have felt like everything was moving way too quickly. Maybe you heard the sounds, but you didn't catch the actual words. Maybe you thought you understood something, but by the time you figured it out, the person was already talking about something else. If that has happened to you, don't worry at all. This is something very normal. Many English learners go through this, and you're definitely not the only one. The truth is, fast English can feel hard to understand at first. It feels fast because you're used to slower, clearer English in textbooks or language classes. But the good news is, with the right kinds of listening practice and some patience, your ears and your brain will get better at catching natural English. You'll slowly begin to understand English the way it's really spoken in the real world. You just need to know how to train for it. And that's exactly what this video will help you with. We're going to show you real examples from everyday conversations. We'll talk about tips you can use and simple exercises that you can do every day to help you listen better. By the end of this video, you will feel more confident when talking with native English speakers, even if they speak fast. You'll begin to hear the rhythm of their sentences, understand the way words get connected, and recognize the natural flow of speech. Before we begin with the lesson, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon. That way, you'll get notified whenever we post a new video to help you improve your English. So grab a notebook, get something to write with, and let's get started. Trying to understand fast English speakers can feel like trying to catch a train that's moving too quickly. You hear some sounds, but they all seem to blend together. It can feel like the words are stuck to each other. Sometimes it even feels like people are skipping words completely. By the time you think you've caught one sentence, the person is already 2 steps ahead in the conversation. That's a very common experience, especially for people who have studied English in a classroom, where everything is slow, clear, and often very proper. But here's something really important to remember. Fast English isn't impossible to understand. It's just different from what you're used to. Native speakers talk with a natural rhythm. They say things quickly because it's more comfortable for them. They use contractions like I'm instead of I am, or don't instead of do not. They also link words together in a way that makes the sentence sound like one long word, instead of many separate ones. Sometimes they even skip sounds or letters that feel unnecessary to them. On top of that, they speak with emotion. They raise or lower their voices, and they change their tone depending on how they feel. So what you need to learn is not just vocabulary and grammar rules. Those things are important, but they are not enough. What you really need is exposure. You need to listen to real English every day. You also need to build awareness. You need to know how English sounds when people speak it naturally. And most of all, you need regular practice. Let's first look at why native speakers seem to speak so fast. They're not trying to make things hard for you. It's just the way people speak when they're fluent. When someone speaks comfortably, their words get joined together. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" a native speaker might say, "What you doing?" Or instead of saying, "I am going to go," they may say, "I'm gonna go." These short versions help conversations move more smoothly and naturally. Even if you know all the individual words, when they are said quickly and connected together, your brain may not recognize them. That's totally normal at first. Also, native speakers stress some words while making other words very soft or almost invisible. For example, if someone says, "I didn't say he stole the money," the meaning changes depending on which word they say more strongly. If they say, "I didn't say he stole the money," it means someone else said it. But if they say, "I didn't say he stole the money," it means maybe someone else did. So when you listen to fast English, you have to pay attention not only to the words, but also to the tone, the rhythm, and which words are said louder or more clearly. Now let's talk a bit more about something called connected speech. This is a really big reason why fast English sounds hard to understand. Connected speech means that when people talk quickly, the words blend together. For example, instead of saying, "Do you want to eat?" a native speaker might say, "Do you want to eat? And could you help me out?" might become, "Could you help me out?" Sounds change. Some letters disappear. Sometimes a new sound even appears between two words. This is normal and happens in almost every casual conversation. The more you listen to this kind of speech, the easier it gets to understand. Let's try a little exercise together. First, I'll say a sentence slowly. Did you eat already? Now I'll say it naturally. Did you eat already? Did you hear the change? Did you became did ya? Try saying it out loud. Did you eat already? Let's try one more. Slow version. What are you gonna do now? Fast version. What are you gonna do now? Again. You can try to repeat it out loud. What are you gonna do now? At first, this may feel strange or difficult. That's okay. But if you practice saying these types of phrases every day, your ears will get used to the sound. And when your ears improve, your brain also gets better at understanding fast English. You don't need to understand every word perfectly at the beginning. Just start recognizing the patterns. That's a big step forward. Here's an easy exercise you can do every night. Find a short scene from a movie, a TV show, or a YouTube video, something where people are speaking naturally. First, Listen to the clip without any subtitles. Just try to understand the general meaning. Then listen again, but this time turn on the subtitles. Pause the video after every sentence. Repeat the sentence out loud the way it sounds, not the way it's written. Try to copy the speaker's speed, voice, and emotion. This kind of practice is called shadowing, and it's one of the most effective ways to improve your listening and speaking together. Shadowing helps your mouth get used to moving the way native speakers talk. It also helps your brain practice hearing English in real time. When you're reading English, your eyes lead the way. But when you're listening, your ears have to take control. That's why you need to train them like a muscle. Another helpful thing to do is start noticing common contractions and casual phrases. For example, instead of saying, "I do not know," a native speaker will usually say, "I don't know." Instead of "let me help you," they'll say, "let me help you." These small changes make English sound very different when spoken, but they are very normal in real life. And the more you hear them, the more familiar they will become. Don't get discouraged if you can't understand everything right away. Even people who speak English as their first language sometimes miss words or get confused when someone talks too fast or too quietly. Your goal should not be perfection. Your goal should be steady progress. Every time you understand one more word, one more phrase, or one more sentence, you are building your listening power. One great daily practice is something I call the 1-minute rewind. Find a video with native English speakers that is about 1 minute long. Watch it once without subtitles. Try to understand what they're saying. Then go back and watch the same minute again. This time, focus on one sentence. Try to hear every single word. If you miss something, rewind and listen again. Pause the video and try repeating each sentence out loud. If you do this every day, even for just 1 minute, your listening will improve a lot. Your brain will get faster. Your ears will get stronger. And understanding fast English will get easier. Let's talk a little more about the kind of English you hear in the real world. The English people speak in coffee shops, in the streets, in movies, or when you hang out with friends. This kind of English isn't always clean or proper. It's full of slang, short forms, and everyday expressions. For example, someone might say, "Let me grab a bite," which just means they want to get something to eat. Or they might say, "I'm a head out," which means they're about to leave. These phrases are everywhere, but they don't usually show up in textbooks. To get used to real-world English, try watching shows or videos that have real conversations. Start with subtitles if you need to, and when you feel ready, try watching without them. You can also listen to English podcasts while doing chores like cleaning, walking, or cooking. The more you surround yourself with real English, the faster your ears will adjust to the way people actually talk. Keep going. The more you practice, the better you'll get. And soon, fast English won't feel fast anymore. It'll just feel natural. One really good way to get better at listening to English is something called dictation practice. This is a simple method that works very well. You start by choosing a short audio clip, maybe just 1 or 2 sentences long. Then you listen to it very carefully and try to write down exactly what you hear. It's okay if you don't get all the words the first time. Just do your best and write what you hear. After that, play the clip again and try to catch the words you missed the first time. You can listen to it 2 or 3 times until you think you have the full sentence written down. Once you feel you've written it correctly, you compare what you wrote with the correct version. You can check this by using subtitles or a written transcript of the audio. This simple practice is really powerful. It helps you notice which words are hard to catch. You begin to understand why they are hard. Maybe they are connected to the words around them. Maybe they are said very quickly. Or maybe you just haven't heard those words enough times before. Dictation practice is useful because it helps improve a few skills at the same time. It helps you focus and concentrate more while listening. It also improves your memory and helps with spelling. This kind of practice is especially helpful for hearing and catching small words like to, of, a, and an. These words often dispt or get reduced in fast speech. Let's try a small example together. Listen to this sentence. I should have told you earlier. Native speakers usually don't say this sentence clearly, word by word. They won't say, I should have told you earlier. Instead, they blend the words together and say, I should have told you earlier. That small change, should have instead of should have, is very common in real English. Go ahead and repeat it. I should have told you earlier. That's what you'll hear in fast speech. When you do dictation like this again and again, your brain gets better at hearing these kinds of blended or shortened words. With more practice, fast conversations become easier to understand. Now, let's talk about something called chunking. This is another useful way to improve your listening. When people speak English, they don't speak one word at a time. They speak in small groups of words, and these groups are called chunks. For example, instead of saying how, are, you, as 3 separate words, they say how are you as one sound. It sounds like how are you. Another example is do you want to go? It sounds like do you want to go? These chunks are made of words that often appear together in conversations. When your brain gets used to hearing these chunks as full pieces, you won't have to stop and translate every word. You will start to understand faster without thinking too much. This means your brain can keep up with the speed of native speakers more easily. So how can you train your brain to understand chunks? One way is to listen to the same phrases over and over in real conversations. Try watching interviews, movies, or short videos where people talk naturally. When you hear a common phrase or chunk, repeat it out loud. Say it the way the speaker says it. Do this many times. When you practice like this every day, your brain will start to remember these patterns. Soon, you'll start hearing the chunks automatically, even when someone is speaking quickly. There is another helpful method you can try, and it's called the listen and imagine method. This is a fun way to understand English faster by creating mental pictures. When you hear a sentence, try to see it in your mind like a small movie. For example, if someone says, "We grabbed some coffee and headed downtown," don't try to understand every word one by one. Instead, imagine two people getting coffee and walking into the city. This picture in your head helps you understand the meaning without needing to translate. You stop thinking about each word and just feel the idea. This is how native speakers understand each other. They don't think about every single word. They process the meaning very quickly because they connect language with images and situations. You can practice this method with short dialogues. After listening, close your eyes and try to see what's happening in your mind. This helps make the language feel more real and natural. Let's do a small imagination practice right now. Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine this. She ran out of the house, jumped into the car, and drove off without saying a word. Can you see that in your mind? You probably imagined someone running, getting into a car, and driving away quickly. That's the goal. You didn't need to hear every tiny sound to understand what was happening. You followed the meaning because you built a picture in your head. This skill helps a lot when native speakers talk quickly. Instead of getting lost in the sounds, you follow the meaning. Practicing this for just 5 minutes a day can really help your listening get better. At this point, it's important to talk about your mindset and being patient. Understanding fast English does not happen in one day. It takes time and practice. It's okay if you don't understand everything right now. What matters is that you don't give up. Every time you listen to English, even if you miss some words, you are training your ears and your brain. You are getting better. Think of it like working out or exercising. The more you do it, the stronger you become. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to understand more than you did before. Celebrate small wins. If you understand one more phrase today than you did yesterday, that's great progress. These small steps add up over time, and they help you keep going. Here's another good method you can use. It's called repeat after pause. This one is easy to do. Find a short video or a short audio clip, maybe just 1 minute long. Play the first sentence and then pause the video. Now try to repeat exactly what you heard. Say the same words with the same tone and speed. Then play the next sentence and do the same thing. This kind of shadowing practice helps your pronunciation, rhythm, and listening skills all at once. It also helps you speak more fluently. Your ears get used to the way native speakers talk, and your mouth learns how to say the same things. You don't need to do this for hours. Even 5 minutes a day can make a big difference if you do it every day. There's another good habit that many fluent English learners use, and it's called active listening. This means you don't just hear the words with your ears. You also pay attention to how the speaker is saying them. You listen for tone, emotion, and speed. Native speakers speak fast, but when something is important, they slow down or speak louder. For example, if someone says, "I really don't want to go," the word really is said slowly and with more stress. That shows emotion. You can understand that the speaker feels strongly about not going. You might not understand every word, but you still get the main idea. That's what active listening helps you do. You can practice this by watching short conversations in videos and noticing how people use their voices. Soon, you'll start hearing these changes in real conversations, and it will help you understand fast English better. Another way to make listening easier is by learning more about the topic you're listening to. This is called building your background knowledge. For example, if you're watching a video about shopping or food, and you already know some words related to that topic, it will be easier to understand the video, even if the speaker talks fast. Your brain already knows what to expect. It can guess what words might come next. This is called context-based understanding. You don't need to understand every word if your brain understands the topic. So when you choose videos or podcasts to practice listening, pick ones that are about subjects you enjoy or already know something about. If you like cooking, watch cooking videos. If you like sports, watch sports shows. Your brain will work faster and you'll feel more confident. Let's try one more small exercise together to use what we've learned so far. I'll describe a scene in fast, natural English. Try to catch the main idea and imagine what's happening. Ready? Here it goes. So, I was running late for work, spilled coffee on my shirt, missed the bus, and had to call a ride just to make it to the meeting. Now, pause and think. Maybe you didn't catch every single word, but you probably understood that the person had a busy and stressful morning. That's what matters. Understanding the main message, not every word. Finally, let's talk a bit about pronunciation. This is also very important when it comes to understanding native English. Many learners think native speakers speak too fast, but often it's not just about speed. It's about how the words are connected. For example, a sentence like, "What do you want to eat?" can sound like, "What do you want to eat?" Another example, "Did you see it?" might sound like, "Do you see it?" Native speakers connect the words and drop certain sounds. This is very normal and natural. If you only listen to English with each word separated, you might be confused when you hear real speech. One way to improve is to practice connected speech yourself. Try to say the words the way native speakers say them. For example, say gonna instead of going to. Say wanna instead of want to. At first, it may feel strange, but this is how English is really spoken. Learning this kind of pronunciation helps your ears and your mouth work better together. It makes listening and speaking much easier. So keep listening, keep repeating, keep imagining, and be patient with yourself. Every minute you spend practicing brings you closer to understanding real English in real life. Keep going. You're making real progress. Another good way to practice is called the echo method. You play a sentence spoken by a native speaker, and then you repeat it right after, just like an echo. Try to copy the same speed, tone, and rhythm. For example, if the sentence is, "I can't believe he said that," you should repeat it right away in the same way, like an echo. This will help your mouth and brain get used to how fast English is spoken. At the beginning, you might not catch all the words, and that's okay. But after a few tries, you'll start getting better. This exercise helps you understand fast English, and it also helps you speak more naturally and smoothly. Now let's talk about a big challenge for English learners: different accents. Not all native English speakers sound the same. There are American, British, Australian, and many other accents. Even inside these countries, people from different areas speak differently. For example, a person from New York might sound different from a person in California. A person from London won't sound the same as someone from Scotland. So, how can you get better at understanding all of them? The answer is simple. Listen to lots of different accents. Watch videos from many English-speaking countries. Try podcasts, interviews, or even music with different styles of speaking. This will help your brain get used to hearing different ways of speaking English. Your brain will stop expecting only one way of speaking, and you'll become better at understanding people no matter where they are from. Let's try a short example using a casual American accent. Someone might say, "Hey man, I'm heading out soon. You coming or nah?" Did you notice how the speaker drops the G in heading and coming? And they say nah instead of no. This way of talking is very common in relaxed, friendly conversations. Try repeating the sentence a few times. "Hey man, I'm heading out soon. You coming or nah?" The more you listen and repeat this kind of English, the more comfortable and natural it will feel to you. Now let's talk about watching English movies or shows. This can help your listening a lot. But don't worry if you don't understand everything. Start by watching with English subtitles. Watch one short scene. Then go back and play it again without the subtitles. See how much you can understand now. Try pausing after each line and say it out loud. You can also write down new or useful phrases. For example, if someone says, "We've got to hurry or we'll miss the train," you can notice that "we've got to" is another way of saying "we have to." Learning these small things helps you feel more confident with real English and builds your listening vocabulary. Next, let's see how songs can help. Listening to English music is a fun way to train your ears. Choose a song you like. First, listen to it without reading the lyrics. Then listen again while reading the lyrics. After that, try singing along. This method teaches you the natural flow, rhythm, and tone of English. Many songs use common, everyday language. For example, in the song, "I'm gonna find another you," the word gonna is used instead of going to. These small things show you how people really speak in daily life. And because music is fun and has strong feelings, your brain will remember the words more easily. Let's do one more practice together. I'll say a paragraph in fast, natural English. Try to listen and follow it. Ready? "We were supposed to meet at 7, but I got stuck in traffic and then couldn't find parking, so I ended up getting there almost an hour late." That was a fast sentence from real life. Now try to repeat it after me. "We were supposed to meet at 7, but I got stuck in traffic and then couldn't find parking, so I ended up getting there almost an hour late." If that feels like too much, just break the sentence into smaller parts and practice slowly. With more practice, it will get easier and easier. Finally, it's important to remember that getting better at listening is not just about listening more. It's about listening in a smart way. Be focused and choose things that are just a little bit hard, not too easy or too difficult. Set small goals every day or every week. Maybe you listen to one short podcast each day. Or maybe you do a few dictation exercises during the week. No matter what you pick, make sure you do it often. Real progress doesn't come from one big study session. It comes from small, regular practice every day. Your ears will get stronger. You'll understand more. And one day, you'll notice that you can understand fast English without working so hard. Now let's take a quick look at what you've already learned. You've practiced many ways to understand fast English. You've learned how native speakers link words together. You've seen how some sounds get reduced or dropped. You've practiced chunking, where your brain hears phrases as one group, not just word by word. You've also tried shadowing, echoing, repeating, imagining, and listening with subtitles. You've trained with different accents and listened to real conversations. All of these exercises are helpful. They will keep helping you even after you finish this lesson. The only thing you need to do is continue. Make English a part of your daily life, not just something you study in class, but something you use and live with every day. The more time you spend with English, the more normal and natural it becomes. Soon, you won't just understand fast English, you'll start to enjoy it. So grab your notebook, go back and practice the exercises again. Repeat the phrases as groups of words. Listen to short conversations every day. Challenge yourself a little more each time. After a while, your ears will be ready. Your brain will process faster, and you will feel much more confident with English.